Good morning, everyone. I will now call the hearing to order. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Treaty 1 territory and the traditional homeland of the Métis Nation. This morning I will be chairing the hearing. My name is Robert Hutchins. On my direct left is Mr. Diamond. On my far left is Mr. Whitbread. And representing the Assessment Department, City of Winnipeg, is Mr. Dolinsky. And our secretary today will be Ms. Balshaw. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that applicants or the assessor make at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by this Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing today and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the Board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to Court of Queen's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the Board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the matters to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony, followed by questioning by the appellant and the board members, and then the appellant's testimony followed again by the assessor and the board members. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions based on the evidence presented here today. You will receive the order by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. And please, can everybody please make sure that their cell phones are on silent before we begin?
Will you swear in this morning? Yes. Please state your name.
Jonathan Dolinsky.
Do you swear the evidence you'll present today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Guys can come up to the table.
Would you like to both come? Are you both going to be speaking? If you're both speaking, then we'll both come forward, have a seat there, and the secretary will swear you in, okay?
So I'll just ask you to state your name, please.
Sumali Ola.
And do you affirm the evidence you'll present today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Can you please state your name?
Hardev Singh.
Do you affirm the evidence you'll present today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. The first property on the docket we're going to deal with is 64 Salter Street. We're dealing with a 2020 realty assessment appeal. And I note on the assessor's brief that there is a recommendation to reduce the assessed value on the property from $953,000 down to $854,000. Were you aware of that recommendation for reduction?
Yes, actually I'm not aware of this because I think I did talk to the assessor because what basically happened, I think because of the time, I guess he was not able to send me an email because I think we talked about this because he said he's going to make recommendation.
Yeah.
But then I guess I didn't know about the assessed value or revised assessed value.
So have you reviewed it with your partner, and are you in agreement with the recommendation, or would you like to proceed with the hearing?
No, basically what happened, I was going to, but of course, because I didn't get the information, I mean, it's not his fault, because
No.
I didn't have enough time. Now I have it, I have to actually talk to him briefly, if it's okay for
Of
the
course.
board, because
Of course.
otherwise it will be difficult for me to sort of make a decision on that one, right?
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So you are aware, but you never received it until you appeared at the hearing right now?
Yes, I just got it.
Okay, you can sit down, sir, you don't have to
Thank
stand
you.
up. Okay, so would you like to step out in the hallway and discuss it with your partner?
If
See if
it's
you-
okay
Of course.
with the board, then
Yes,
I
of
would like
course.
to do it.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we're gonna
thank
recess.
you, so it won't be that
Oh,
long.
no, you take your time, okay? You review it and you decide. Okay, I will now call the hearing back to order. Okay, Mr. Dolinsky, would you like to present your evidence, a brief overview of the reasoning for the reduction? And I think my understanding is that the appellants have accepted the recommendation. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
All right, for the record, the address, the subject property is 64 Salter Street. The roll number is 14001897200. It is a CMVSR vehicle service related. Zoning is M1, and releasable area for this property is 9,304 square feet. Our recommendation is to reduce the assessed value to $854,000. If we flip to the second page, we have a subject sale for $823,000 on August the 9th, 2017. On the third page is a picture of the subject property. And the bottom picture is an overhead view. The property is located at the corner of Dufferin Ave and Salter Streets. If we flip to the fourth page, this is the current valuation. We're at $9.61 per square foot for a leasable area of 9,304 square feet, which gets our assessed value to $953,000. The fifth page shows breakdown of the income value summary. I won't go too much into that. Then on the sixth page is our recommended valuation summary. The only change is the per square foot value, and we've reduced that to $8.63. On page 7, here are the comparables to justify this reduction. I won't go too much into them, but I have 10 comparables here, similar properties. We have an average of $8.61. And that is my brief. If there's any questions, feel free.
Thank you. Since you've accepted the recommendation, but I will allow you to ask questions of the assessor if you wish, or if you're comfortable with what he's presented, then we'll just leave it at that.
The only, I guess, now basically because we are dealing with this assessment right now, but I guess overall when I look at the property itself, because of the area itself, I think in my opinion, of course, although I think the owner is willing to accept this one here, they still feel, because I think they've been getting every year the sort of reassessment.
Mm-hmm.
And basically that's the issue. I'm pretty sure that most of you are well aware of the area itself, and because of that particular reason, I think they still think that probably the value should not be sort of assessed or reassessed every year. But it's irrelevant, I mean, to what we are talking about at this moment. But that's otherwise, I think from the recommendation of the assessor, I think we are okay for now.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
anyway, so
Okay.
so there shouldn't be any problem, because I think he did explain about the other property, because I looked at the other properties myself too, although I was actually not able to submit that information because there was somehow overlooked the date, I guess, for submission. But then actually I looked at the other reasons why it should not be that much. I think for now, the owner is satisfied with the recommendation of the
Okay.
assessor, yeah.
And you understand that the reassessment is required by law? The city's required to reassess every 2 years?
No, that one I'm well aware of that, because basically I know whether it's a commercial property or residential property, they're supposed to do it
Yeah.
based on, I guess, the value of the property itself.
Yeah.
Because although I think from my experience, I can tell you, the assessment might be 100 something or 120, 130, I'm talking about back maybe 5-10 years ago, and that people have to pay so way over that because of, I guess, depending on the demand and supply rule of that's how many people are asking for that particular property.
That's right.
Yeah, so basically, I think you're correct what you're saying, because it's basically the city has to reassess based on if they have done some sort of renovation or improvement of the
Yeah.
property. I mean, also I think the city itself have done improvement to the roads or whatever the case may be. I think you're correct about that. I think, I certainly hope that sufficient, I guess from my perspective, that's what I want to just say,
Okay.
yeah.
But to summarize, you are in agreement with the recommendation
That's
the
correct.
assessors made, revising it from $953,000 down to $854,000. So-
Yes.
Okay. Harvey, any questions of the assessor?
I have a couple questions. The first one is that on the first page you indicate there's no parking spots, and I look at the photograph on page 3, and I see not only a lot of parking spots, but I see a lot of cars actually parked there, so I'm wondering why on the first page you only show no parking spots, and does that reflect in the assessment? And the value of it?
I don't believe we take in any of the parking spots as income.
Okay, also speak of the income only, not the
Yeah.
facilities of having them, which
That's
makes
right.
the property more amenable to be used as it is.
That's right.
Okay, and how exactly did you arrive at the cap rate that was used?
The cap rate is model driven. I didn't touch it, I just left it as is.
So one of the computers indicated, I see it, it fits within the guidelines of your table on page 8.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Richard, any questions? Okay. And I have no questions either. So leave it with us, sir. You'll hear from us as soon as possible, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you for appearing. Thank you. That concludes 64 Salter Street. And okay, next property on the docket is 1864 Logan Avenue. It appears we have a non-appearance by the appellant, so Mr. Dolinsky, would you mind going through the brief for 1864 Logan Avenue in the appellant's absence?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Okay, so the property in question is 1864 Logan Ave. The roll number is 0709111300. It is a CMVSR, vehicle service related, actual year built 2004. Our zoning is M1, and our leasable area for the subject is 4,360. Our recommendation is to confirm the assessed value of 714,000. If we flip to the second page, there's a couple pictures of the subject property. The top one is the actual subject at the front view, and the bottom picture is an overhead view. We can see it's at the corner of D Street and Logan Ave. On the third page, we have a subject sale of $550,000 on February 25th, 2009. We flip to the fourth, we have our income valuation. We're at $12.37 per square foot. Vacancy 4%, expenses 2%, and a cap rate of 7%. Fifth page, more breakdown of the income value summary. On the sixth page, we have our rent comparables. I have 5 comparables that are most like the subject here in the city. I'll go through them. The first one's on 3020 Portage Ave. It is built in 1972 with a leasable area of 5,503 square foot for a lease net rent of $11.99. We have a picture of this property on page 7, the Fountain Tire. Comparable to 3096 Pembina Highway, built in 1992, leasable area 3,107 for a net lease of $11.74. Picture is also on page 7 on the bottom. Comparable 3331 Portage Ave, built in 1980, leasable area of 2,352 for a lease net rent of $11.69. Picture of this property can be found on the top of page 8. Comparable 1429 Henderson Highway, built in 1973, leasable area of 4,230 square feet for a lease net rent of $13.24. This picture's on page 8, bottom. And then our last comparable is at 2645 Pembina Highway, built in 1987 for a leasable area of 3,000 square feet and a lease net rent of $13. Our average for these comparables is $12.33. And that is my brief.
Thank you. Richard, any questions of the assessor?
No?
Thank you. Harvey, any questions?
Yes, I do. I'm looking at all your comparables, and not only the pictures, but the locations as well. All look superior to the subject property. Do you agree with that?
Based on pictures, some of them look good, because we do have a couple franchises here.
I understand, but even the ones that aren't franchises do look like better quality properties, and the locations are certainly better.
In terms of my comparables, the year builds are quite a bit older than the subject. Our subject is 2004, so maybe the outside and location isn't as the same as my comparables, but the comparables are quite a bit older, and I believe this adjustment compares to very similar comps.
Have you seen the inside of any of the comparables and the subject property?
I have not.
So you don't know how they compare on the inside,
No,
or what facilities they have?
just based on the information we have on our computer.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Harvey. Mr. Dolinsky, just to confirm, the subject property was built in 2004?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, what is that tower?
Sorry, which tower?
If you look in the picture, that tall white tower.
On this, in the subject picture?
Yeah,
I believe has to do with electrical, but I am not sure.
okay. Yeah, just kind of.
It's a bigger pole, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so, and the assessed value for 2020 is $714,000. You're asking us to confirm it at that value based on the comparisons presented
That's correct.
in the appellant's absence. Okay, thank you very much. That concludes 1864 Logan Avenue. And I believe that concludes our hearing.